everyone, welcome to English Tutorial Edu. This is Sumita and today we are going to be discussing about the poem No Men Are Foreign. No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes, like ours, the land our brothers walk upon. Is earth like this, in which we all shall lie? They too, aware of the sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by war's long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other, it is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. James Harold Kirkup was born in 1918 and died in 2009. He was an English poet, translator, dramatist, autobiographer, and travel writer. He was the only son of a carpenter and studied in South Shields High School. Later, he graduated from Durham University. He was a prolific writer and was skilled in writing haiku and tanka. His epic Picadon deals with the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So he faced the war, and a lot of his writings are based on the war. The theme of the poem is universal brotherhood and renunciation of war. The poet gives us the message that superficial differences are no excuse for war. Xenophobia or fear of foreigners is the basis of war, and common people must realize that war does not benefit them in any way, so they must avoid war and live like brothers. So we should be staying away from the thoughts of war and should not be instigated by politicians or other leaders who propagate war. In the first stanza, the poet says, remember, no men are strange or unknown, no country is foreign or non native. We think of other people in other countries as strange and the countries as foreign countries. But he says that beneath or underneath, below all uniforms or formal outfits, we can see here that all these soldiers are having different kind of outfits. All countries have different kind of outfits for soldiers. He says that underneath the formal outfits, a single body breathes. So, what does this phrase mean? It means each body is similar in looks and needs. So, all the people have two eyes, two hands, two legs, and the physical features are same, and the needs of the people are also same. So a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is the earth like this, in which we all shall lie. Earth is similar in all the countries. Okay, the dirt, the earth that is there, the soil, it is similar, and we will all end as dust. After death, everyone who is born will have to die, and everyone will be turned to dust. So we should remember that the earth that the other people of other countries walk is the same earth. God has not made it different, and we shall all die and lie in that earth. Two, the poet says that the people in other countries too are aware of the sun and air and water, or the basic elements. He says that they are fed by peaceful harvest. What are peaceful harvests? The bounties of nature during peaceful times. So when there is peace, the farmers will sow their crops and harvest it, and as a result, the people will be able to feed. But they too are starved by the war's long winter. Okay, so here winter stands for the adversities of life. Okay, so during war there are a lot of challenges, lot of hardships, and people starve as a result of war. Their hands are ours. So here the poet says that their hands do the same work as our hands do. So their hands are like our hands, and in the lines in their palm, we read, or in their thoughts and writings, we read. So here lines means the lines in their palm. What do we read in those lines? A labor or work, effort, not different from our own. So their hands do the same type of effort or work that we do in our countries. Stanza 3, the poet says, remember they have eyes like ours. What does the eyes represent? The physical features. He says that the physical features and actions of the people in other countries are the same as ours. Their eyes too keep awake and sleep. And strength. Here, strength stands for the mental and physical power, and strength that can be won by love. So, their strength can be won easily by love rather than dominating over them by defeating them in war. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. So here the poet says that every one of us acknowledge and realize that ordinary life is the same in each and every country. So in stanza 4, the poet warns us, tells us, let us be warned, let us remember, whenever we are told we are instigated by negative forces like the politicians, the religious leaders who want to immortalize their own names. When we are told by them to hate our brothers, hate, despise, abhor our brothers, here brothers mean the fellow human beings, okay? So we are told by the negative forces that we should be fighting for our country or fighting for our religion and killing others. We should be hating the other people. We should remember that it is ourselves that we dispossess or cheat or deprive, betray, deceive and condemn, that we doom our own future. He tells us, remember, who take arms against each other. Take arms means we wage war or fight against each other. It's the human earth that we defile. Human earth, the world or earth in which the humans reside. That we defile. Defile means pollute. So when we are waging our war, we are polluting our own earth. Our hells of fire and dust. Hells of fire and dust, this phrase means the unbearable world of dead or inferno due to bombings. So when there's a lot of bombings and shooting, so there are a lot of dead bodies, so life becomes a hell. So our hells of fire and dust, what does it do? It outrages, violates or insults the innocence of air. Innocence of air here means peaceful, chaste or pure atmosphere. So when we are waging the war, there is a lot of pollution, death and bloodshed. We are outraging or insulting the innocent air or the innocent atmosphere, peaceful atmosphere that is everywhere our own. So that peaceful atmosphere belongs to each one of us. In the final line, he says, remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So he reiterates that we should be remembering that the other people in other countries are not strangers, they are not foreign, they are not something different, they are just like ourselves. So here he says, in the first line he says, remember no men are strange, no countries foreign, and in this last line he changes this and says no men are foreign and no countries strange. So through this poem the poet is advocating peace and telling everyone to be aware that we should not be instigated by the world leaders into fighting and killing our fellow human beings. Now we shall be learning about the literary devices. Remember, no man a strange, no country is foreign. The word remember, this word has been repeated 5 times in the poem. Beneath all uniforms, here uniforms is the metaphor. It is used to refer to the different kinds of military dresses in different countries. Okay, so people wear uniforms so that they appear to be uniform. He says that a single body breathes. So in body breathes, the poet has used alliteration. The B sound has been repeated. So what is the irony in this word uniform? Okay, so the irony is uniforms here divide people instead of uniting them. So the armies wear different uniforms, though they are uniforms trying to be making everyone the same, but they are here dividing the people and they are fighting against each other. Enjambment means when one line follows into the other, it is called enjambment. So here we see no country is foreign. Then again, there is no punctuation marks beneath all uniforms. Okay, so it is continued into the second line. In the second line, single body breathes like ours. So it is following to the third line. The land our brothers walk upon is following into the uh, fourth line is earth like this. So enjambment is used in lines 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this first stanza. In the second stanza, so in the second line the poet has used transferred epithet. In transferred epithet, the adjective that is used is actually intending to describe some other noun than the noun with which it has been used. So here the peaceful harvest, the harvest is not are not peaceful. The people who are harvesting them are harvesting them in peaceful times. They are peaceful. Okay, so here winter is the metaphor for adverse times or adversities. So here the poet has used ellipsis, hands are ours. So here the word like is omitted, the hands are like ours. Okay, so when a word is omitted but it doesn't make much difference, it is called ellipsis. And in their lines, so here lines actually mean the lines in the palm of the people who are working, but here it can mean the lines in their writings too. In their lines we read. So we understand that the labor or work that they do are not different from the kind of work that we do. So here also enjambment has been used in line 3 and 4. So here and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So there is no punctuation mark and this line extends to the fourth line. Third stanza, the poet has used repetition. We know that the word remember has been emphasized upon throughout the poem, and the poet wants us to remember that no countries are strange and no men are foreign. In the second line, the poet has used alliteration. S sound has been repeated. In the third line, again alliteration has been used. The L sound has been repeated thrice. In the fourth stanza, the poet has told us that we should remember that we should not be hating our brothers and waging wars. Okay, so the word remember has been repeated. So the poetic device of repetition has been used for emphasis. In lines 1 and 2, again enjambment has been used. So this first line flows into the second line. In the fifth stanza, symbolism has been used, and as we see, the fire is the symbol of anger and hatred. Again, repetition has been used. The poet is again emphasizing that we must remember that no men are foreign, no country is strange. And enjambment has been used in lines 2 and 3. So here we see that our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. So this line flows into the next line. It is written in free verse and does not have a particular rhyme scheme. Now let us reiterate or revise the literary devices that has been used. Alliteration, which is the repetition of consonant sound. Body breathes, b sound has been repeated. Or sleep and strength, s sound has been repeated. Land is common life, la sound is repeated. Then the metaphor, which is the indirect comparison without using as or like. Beneath all uniforms, here uniforms have been metaphorically used to refer to the different kinds of military dresses in different countries. It is ironical as it creates differences instead of uniformity. Uniform can also be said to be metonymy, standing for the militaries. War's long winter starved. The starvation faced during war and winter. Here winter stands for the times of adversity when people suffer. So here winter is the metaphor for adversities. Next, repetition. We know that, remember, this word has been repeated 5 times in the poem to emphasize the importance of implementing universal brotherhood. The word in the first line have been reversed in the last line to re-emphasize the importance of uniting mankind for global peace. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. That is there in the first line. Remember, no men are foreign and no country is strange is given in the last line. Next, we know that transferred epithet is a device when an epithet or adjective is actually describing a different noun. Peaceful harvest. Here the harvests are not peaceful, but the peasants and cultivating them are peaceful. Next is enjambment, continuous consecutive lines of poetry without period or full stop to indicate flow of thought. In stanza 1, lines 1, 2, 3 and 4 have enjambment, and stanza 2, 3 and 4, stanza 3, 1, 2 and 3, stanza 4, lines 1 and 2, stanza 5, lines 2 and 3. Last but not the least, symbolism means representing things or ideas through symbols. So here fire is the symbol of anger and hatred and enmity. So I do hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you did, and put your comments in the comment box. You may put in your queries and I'll be trying to answer them as the soonest. Thanks for watching.